Hi, my name is Rachel Farmer, and I chose Crystal Ramos for the leadership interview assignment. She's the director for this preschool that I work at, and she's my best friend of 3 years. I chose her because I admire her work ethic and her leadership skills. She always works hard. She always puts her coworkers first. She's patient and kind. She's silly, but she knows when to be serious. And she's one of the strongest people that I know. She's a young mom of 3 kids, and she was divorced a couple years ago. But instead of letting that divorce consume her, she rose to the leadership position that she's in now, as successfully ran the business and maintained good relations with both her family and her coworkers. My perception of her during the interview, she was cool and collected. She was very prepared. She knew exactly what she wanted to say and was very confident in her answers. She was very participative and engaged. She was always willing to provide more information if I needed it. She was willing to elaborate. If I had a follow-up question for her, she was right on the dot. She just knew exactly what she wanted to say. Some of the key leadership characteristics that we had discussed, she told me that, or I asked her what is important to understand before you become a leader, and she said that you can't always expect it to be textbook. You don't know what it's like to be a leader until you're in that position. So don't just follow what you read in the textbook or watch in lectures. I asked her about her passion. She said that she loves the fulfillment, that successful feeling that you get when you fulfill the task. And I noticed that she was very task-oriented and relationship-oriented. She likes the fulfillment portion of it, and she likes being prompt. But she also likes the relationship orientation of it, where she keeps everybody involved, and she feels as though they should be just as much a part of the success as she is. I asked her what the easiest part about being a leader was, and she said the cognitive portion of it is her favorite. She said that she's very quick on her feet. She can always come up with a solution for a problem, and she loves that portion of it. I asked her what the toughest part about being a leader was, and she said the confrontational part can be a little bit difficult. She doesn't like telling people that they're doing something wrong for fear that they're going to take it personally, as opposed to just taking it as constructive criticism. I asked her opinion on whether or not she felt that leadership does it come naturally, or is it something that has to be learned? And she said that it really depends on the personality. She said for her it came naturally, and if she was any group that she was in, if she was the oldest, even if she was the youngest, she could always assume a position and feel confident in that position. She also gave the example of a best friend that she had back in high school that was very shy, but they managed. They're now the CEO of a company, and they tell people what to do, or thousands of people what to do every day. And she didn't think that person or that best friend would be able to do that, but she eventually developed into the leader that she is today. I asked her about her leadership style, and based on what she was describing to me, I kind of picked up on her being a participative, supportive leader. She likes to give her subordinates free rein, especially in creative portions, like when teachers are making up lesson plans. But the supportive portion comes from she's always willing to motivate them and back them up if they need it. I asked her if her subordinates like or dislike that leadership style, and she said that some love having that free rein and being able to know that she's there for them and she's willing to motivate them if they ever need them. But she also struggles with some subordinates that prefer a more directive leadership style. They want clear, concise instructions, but she wants to be able to give them some instruction and then let them do what they want. My perception after the interview, I feel more connected to her as a future leader because she and our passions line up. She and I both find it important to incorporate both task and relationship orientations. We feel as though everybody should be in on the successful feeling that you get when you fulfill a task as a team. I asked at the end of the interview, I reflected on what I really got out of the interview, and I really liked the part where she was reiterating the importance of a balance between task and relationship orientation. And I also liked her giving real life examples of any leadership situation that she's been in. I like that whatever I've read in textbook or whatever I've watched in lecture, she was able to give an example to elaborate on it, and now I can make a connection with what I've read. The last thing that I had asked her about was, what are her expectations of subordinates? She said a couple of them would be, she feels as though subordinates should know their responsibilities. She doesn't feel like she should have to repeat for those. She doesn't have to repeat those responsibilities. And as far as disciplinary measures, she thinks verbal warnings are appropriate. And if anything drastic comes up, then she'll do it as necessary. But the reason why I asked her about her expectations is because I have expectations of my own, but because I haven't been in a leadership position like her, I don't know if my expectations were considered fair. So I asked her if, what are her expectations, and when I found that some of ours lined up, it made me feel more confident. So whenever I become a leader, I know that my expectations are fair, and then I can continue on without feeling as though I'm not leading properly. So anyway, I came out of that interview more confident, knowing that I have a shared passion with her, I have a shared expectations with her, and I feel more confident in becoming a leader. My name is Rachel Farmer, and thank you for listening.